Hey guys, this is Matt from Accelerating Alpha, and today I'm coming at you guys from the island of Capri, which is just off the coast of Italy, and my wife and I are finishing up our 2-week Italian vacation, which I paid almost entirely with using nothing but credit card points that I got from signing up for new credit cards and taking advantage of these sign-on bonuses. So in this video, we're going to go into deeper detail on just how I did that. I'm going to break down every single thing for you guys. So let's jump on in. Hey guys, so as you can probably tell from my surroundings, I am back from Italy, and man, it was a fantastic trip. We went to Rome, Florence, Venice, and spent the last week in Capri and the Amalfi Coast. It was fantastic. We did cooking classes, we took a boat out, went to some fantastic museums, and most importantly, ate a lot of really good food. And I definitely gained some weight, that's for sure. But the best part of it all is the fact that a vast majority of the trip, as you'll see here in a minute, was paid for exclusively just by opening up about 5 to 6 credit cards. So most of these points were earned specifically just by earning the sign-on bonuses. So once I opened up a credit card, I got the sign-on bonus, and once the sign-on bonus hit my account, I put it to the side, opened up a new credit card, and met all the requirements to get that specific credit card's bonus, and did it again until we had all the points needed to pay for this trip. So to pay for the flights, I used 2 Capital One Venture cards and 1 Chase Business Preferred card. And by using those cards, I mean I used the points generated from the sign-on bonus. And you'll see here in this table below, it outlines all the points I got from each card and where those points were allotted to as far as our activities, our travel, hotels, Airbnbs, and things like that. So some of you guys are probably going to quickly point out that I would have got much better value if I had transferred some of these points out to some of the transfer partners that Chase and Capital One and the other credit cards had. You're exactly right. And in hindsight, I wish I had done that. However, at the time, I was just trying to get 1 flight paid for, 2 flights max. I had no idea that I'd be able to have most of the trip paid for, specifically in points. So for my next trip, and I recommend for your next trip, don't do what I did, and when possible, transfer them out. All the flights were economy because when I went ahead to book through the portals, business class was just absolutely out of the question. It was way pricier. Granted, it was a much better deal than just buying it in cash, but I would have had to shell out some cash to pay for the tickets, and my goal was to pay for the flights all out in points along with the hotels. We also had a second flight within Italy where we used 19,000 points for both our tickets one way from Venice to Naples, and we used the Chase Sapphire Preferred card to go ahead and to book that flight. For the hotels, I used the sign-on bonuses I earned by opening up 2 separate Chase Sapphire Preferred cards, one in my name, one in my wife's name. I used that bonus to go ahead and to book our hotels, in addition to some additional spend that I had put on the card. So that was about just over $1,200 in value I got just by opening up those 2 cards and booking through Chase's portal and getting that 25% bonus when booking directly through Chase. So overall, just by opening up 2 Chase Sapphire Preferred cards, my wife and I got a flight from Venice to Naples, and we got a total of 10 nights in pretty good hotels. Our hotel in Venice was absolutely beautiful, and so was the one in Rome as well. Now for the next one, we ended up booking an Airbnb using the points we earned through the Barclays Revival Plus card. That had an $800 value. Now unfortunately, the Barclays Revival Plus card was just recently shut down, so no longer accepting any new applications. And I really hope they release a new credit card because this was a really good one. It essentially allowed you to get, once you met the minimum spend, which was $5,000 in 3 months, an $800 travel credit anywhere. And it was very flexible with what the travel credit could even be. So I went ahead and I booked an Airbnb, and that got us 5 nights totally covered on the card. So even after all this, we still had several thousand Chase Ultimate Reward points on one of our Chase Sapphire Preferred cards. So I went ahead and looked in the activities section, and I found a cooking class nearby that we could go ahead and take. So I used just over 14,000 points to book us a fantastic cooking class. It was about 4 hours long. We got wine. It was just us and 2 instructors. It wasn't supposed to be private, but nobody else booked, so we lucked out. That was probably one of our favorite parts of the trip, and it really wasn't that bad. 14,000 points isn't a whole lot, and with the bonus you get, the 25% bonus, you can't beat it. That's something a lot of people don't utilize. Is with Chase Ultimate Reward Points is you can book concerts, activities, boats, museum tours, anything, you name it. I really encourage people to go on there and to explore other ways you can utilize your points. So the last card I utilized was a Citi Prestige card, and there's several reasons why. The first one is the $250 calendar year travel credit, which can be used on things like taxis, ferries, metros, anything like that. So we ended up maxing that out based on all the transport we took, and on top of that, it has fantastic earning potential, getting us 5% back at restaurants and a very healthy percentage back at hotels as well. So in summary, the total cash value we got out of our trip was $4,992, and a vast majority of that simply came from opening up a credit card, getting the sign-on bonus, setting it aside, and doing it all over again. However, I really want to put a disclaimer out there. People that haven't traveled and they're really on budget conscious, which I'm sure most of you guys are, but you need to be aware that there still are out-of-pocket costs. Some random bar is not going to accept Chase Ultimate Reward Points or Citi Thank You Points. You still have to eat. You still have to drink. You're going to buy souvenirs. There's going to be some places that only accept cash. So you're going to have to go and withdraw euros, and there's no points when you spend euros on gelato 2 or 3 times a day. So please keep that in mind. So with that said, our total out-of-pocket costs came out to just around $2,800. However, there's a catch to that because on our way back, as I mentioned earlier, our flights were actually canceled due to mechanical error with the plane. So, per European law, if your flight is delayed or canceled by more than 3 hours, you are entitled to 600 euros per ticket, and if it's a cancellation, which in our case it was, and we had to stay overnight, which in our case it was, the airline has to pay for not only our hotel, but the meals as well. So we anticipate to get about $600 back in reimbursements from the airline. So that $2,800 comes down to about $1,200 out of pocket. So that's a total of 16 days in Rome, and we only spent $1,200. However, of course, chances are you now might all hope that your flight gets canceled or delayed by 3 hours. It's actually the second time in a row that's happened to us. So we kind of consider ourselves pretty lucky, and to be honest, Rome's not too bad of a place to be stranded in for one day. So I think we've gotten really lucky traveling, but even if we didn't get that canceled flight, to me, spending $2,800 for around 15, 16 days abroad in Italy, that's a great deal. So if I had to do this all over again, I would definitely change which cards I open first and how I utilize and leverage my points. I would have transferred out several points out of Capital One especially, which you get decent value using Capital One points for travel, but there's no bonuses like a 25 or 50% bonus like you have with Chase Ultimate Reward Points. So I would have pulled them out and gotten a whole lot more value and a whole lot more mileage out of my points. So I know a lot of you travel hackers out there are probably looking at me and thinking you've done so much better. Well, you probably have, and congratulations, because when I planned this trip almost a year ago, I had no idea this was even possible. So I just really want to take time for you guys and to show you how to actually do this. Because so many videos out there, they all talk about, oh, you can travel here, you can do this, you can do that, but no one actually shows it to you. It's just some guy in front of their computer that a lot of times haven't even been, or if they have been, it's a simple one-time result type of thing, and they use 1 credit card for it or 2 credit cards for it, when oftentimes you're going to need more than that to book a trip like this to Europe. So I really hope you found this video helpful. So guys, all the credit cards I use are in the link in the description below. Please go ahead and use that link. I will be transparent with you guys. Most, if not all of them, are affiliate links, so it does help Accelerate in Alpha, and we really, really appreciate it if you guys click the link. But thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to hit that like button and that subscribe button and all that good mess. But it's good to be back in the States. I hope to be making more videos, and I will see you guys next week.